Good morning. It's later in the day than, early 5:30. I don't even know what time. How's that? Anyway, we've gotten up. We've had our bran muffin for breakfast. Haven't had coffee because we couldn't turn on the generator. And we're at Home Depot, which is our favorite Wi-Fi spot. In most places, you can get Wi-Fi at a Home Depot. So if you need Wi-Fi and you're traveling, look for a Home Depot and drive into their parking lot. Park fairly close to the building. And usually you can get Wi-Fi. It's named Guest Wi-Fi in Canada. I don't know what it is anywhere else. Yeah, so we drove over here. There is also a Walmart in the area. So we're going to go and have a look and see if we can stay there. And if we can't, well, we'll maybe have to go back to the other one or whatever. But we're going to check this area out. I'm not even sure where we are in St. Catharines. I believe this is the Fairview Mall area because there's also a Costco over kind of on the way into this Home Depot. So, and we were told that was Fairview Mall. So I think that was what they said, Fairview Mall. Anyway, yeah, so here we are at the Home Depot checking our bank accounts and seeing how little I should say, but how much money we actually have left. It ain't a lot, I'll tell you that. And we ought to last, this is Wednesday, we ought to last till Saturday. Oh, by the way, honey, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
We'll be doing something later in the month. Probably at the end of the month when we get our big money, we'll do something special. But we're going to have to go into a campground, and before we go in, we're probably going to pick something up that's nice for a nice supper for ourselves. So we'll do that on Saturday. Figure out what we want to do. Anyway, that is where we are today, traveling around in this area. So I may or may not be back today, but there's your little video for now. It stopped raining, but it rained off and on quite hard last night. It was actually quite nice. And it didn't get cold. It's not like it doesn't get cold here when it rains, which is really nice because we're used to it getting really cold. And it's very, very high humidity right now for us. It's 75% in the motorhome. Our blankets on our bed last night were actually dampish, which was kind of a surprise. Haven't had that for ever. Well, since I was in Winnipeg. Winnipeg is like that. It can be like that in the summer where they have the really high humidity. They'll get 80-90% humidity. And your clothes in your closet will be dampish. So, but yeah, it was interesting. There was some people came in late last night. We went to bed about 10:30, and they came in later. And I think they were the ones with the kids. There was a bunch of kids, preteens. You could tell from the voices and the way they were acting. And they were out until like 12:30, jumping around in the parking lot, screaming and hollering at each other. Lord knows what the parents were doing, probably just being in the house and saying, stay outside. We don't want anything to do with you right now. But anyways, there was at least 4 or 5 kids, possibly more. And they were yelling and screaming for hours, which wasn't really good for me trying to sleep, but, it is what it is. And good morning. It is 3:30 in the morning, and I'm up again. It seems I spend my life sitting in the dark. And it is dark in the house. Let me tell you, the tree is pretty tonight, if you can see it. It's been raining again, as you can see by the ground. We are very low on electric, and we are worried about the fridge going again. At least I am. We're going to be trying to get a couple of batteries. Means we have to go further in debt, but we're going to try. And see if they'll let us. Because if we can get a couple of batteries, it might solve this problem. We're not sure at this point, because of the batteries, whether we really have a solar problem or we don't. And getting a couple of new batteries to go in here would work to help us to figure that out. So we're going to be trying to do that possibly later today. If we can and it solves the problem, then we'll be in good shape. We'll have another debt that we'll have to pay, but we'll be in good shape. So we'll be giving that a try today. And we are really going to have to work on trying to get our debts paid down. And we don't have a lot to work with to do that, but we've kind of worked out a plan. So we're going to follow the plan and see how it goes. Anyway, I wanted to just say hello in the middle of the night. I can't play my game because it's got no power left on it, either of my machines. So I have an iPad that's ancient and all I can do is play games on it. It also keeps my calendar schedule kind of thing and has all my contacts on it. I need to put those into physical form, paper form. So I need to design myself a paper form for both of those things and put them together somehow. And my Switch has also got no power left in it, so I can't play that. So sitting up in the dark, because I can't turn the light on, I can't even write in my diary because it's really quite dark, even with the lights coming in from outside, etc. It looks brighter in this video than it really is. Anyway, I will shut this off because I don't want to lose all the power in it either. And I'll let you know later in the day maybe how we did. And hopefully we have batteries by this afternoon. Can kind of figure things out. So I will talk to you later. Bye for now. There we go.
Lights, camera, action.
Action! Alright. Here it is. It's still July the 11th. We've been to Canadian Tire and we've bought batteries. We bought 2 of them. In order to do that, we had to get a new Canadian Tire MasterCard. So we have that, which is being mailed to our house in Alberta, which is really not helpful, but yeah, okay. Anyway, honey, how was the day?
Stressful. We started out, the batteries were down so low that it hardly had enough power to keep the fridge running, which was a major concern in my books.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to lose all the food. And,
Again.
and we couldn't start the generator because there wasn't enough power. So we picked up 2 of the big batteries.
Biggest ones they had.
And installed them, took the 4 batteries that were in the coach, took them out, rearranged things. Some of the cables were too short. I had to monkey around with them.
Climb under the motorhome, folks. You had to climb under the motorhome to monkey around. Anyway,
we got that done. I'm hooking everything up. Then I put the negative, I connected it first, which is what you do. Then I went to connect up a positive wire that was connected to the big inverter we have downstairs. And it had been turned off, and there was a spark. It sparked. I thought, oh my, there's a short in there or something. So I took that wire off and I taped it up, and then I disconnected the other end from the inverter, hooked everything up. No more sparks. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I got that done. when I got the first battery done, I reached in the doorway and turned the porch light on, and it worked.
This light up in the ceiling there. It's got a switch down there.
And it worked, so then I knew the fridge was working. So I hooked up the second 12-volt battery and got that put in, and it's working like a charm.
Yeah.
Tried the generator, tried the voltage, made sure voltage was good, and everything's perfect. So that was our accomplishment for today.
And we had supper, and we turned on the microwave.
Yeah, well, we have electricity again, which we haven't had for a long time.
And it didn't. I had the generator on, because we always have to turn the generator on in order to use things like the microwave. And now, in the past, we've talked about how the generator, when we turn on the microwave or we turn on this or that, it can't. The generator powers down, way down, and you can hear it. It doesn't do that anymore. The microwave came on. You could hear the generator accept the microwave, but it didn't power down. It didn't make that drop in its power. It was amazing. So I wonder if we could have brought our Kasori. Oh well.
It's a long way away.
Yeah, it's a long way away now. So anyway, yeah. So other than that, we met a really nice man who stopped to chat with us and pet Bree. Bree is a big attractor, and he was talking about different areas. And we have now had 3 or 4 people suggest that we give going down east, and by that they mean Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, in that area. Give that a try, because it's much cheaper down there apparently. This gentleman was also talking about, he knows the Peterborough area, and he said, it's also high humidity. Pretty much the whole province is high humidity. Right now, but it's not suffocating. This is the thing with the high humidity. It's not suffocating. When days get hot, they get quite hot and humid, and your skin is damp, and the bedding gets damp because of it. But we're not suffering from the high humidity, are we?
No, not at all. I thought it would be a lot hotter if we were in Alberta and it was, say, 32 degrees Fahrenheit or centigrade. It would be just sweltering. Like, I couldn't stand it.
Yeah. It's air conditioner time.
Yeah, but here, 31, 32, and the high humidity, and for some reason, it doesn't feel that.
It doesn't make you smothering, feeling smothering.
So I like this climate out here.
Yeah, it's just finding a place that we can afford to park and be, and not just park, but settle. Some place where we can settle, that we can afford to be. I don't think that's going to be in the Niagara region anymore. I don't think Gary does either. It's a very expensive area. Trying to rent a place is going to be really hard. Now, this gentleman was also talking about a place up the road that we actually kind of went by when we were coming here, and it's a little place called Tilsonburg. It's got like a grocery store, and it's got a medical place and things like that. It's got all the things you need, including a Tim Hortons, apparently. Apparently that's something that's important to a lot of people. But he was saying that you can buy a house there that's a really decent house for about $170,000, $170,000. 109, right, that he was looking at it. Now, it's probably not a large house, but we don't need a large house. We just need a basement with whatever house we're in. So we need a 2-bedroom type of house with a basement that we can spread our crafting in the basement and then have the upstairs for living. Or we might be able to find a place to have a store and live in, which is really what we're hoping for. So, but other than that, I mean, it's been a day. It's been a tough day. Gary's worked very, very hard. Bree and I were moral support, sitting outside, me in my wheelchair, and her laying on the ground, greeting anybody who walked by and even glanced in her direction. She was standing up and wagging her tail at them and looking ever so cute. And it's a very friendly place. We've only seen and met a couple of people that were probably just having a bad day. Let's give them that, and just say they weren't miserable all the time. They're just having a bad day. But yeah, it's been a very, very nice area. We got to stay here until Saturday. This is Thursday, so we still have a couple of nights that we have to spend here, which is okay. But both of us are breathing this huge sigh of relief that we were able to get the batteries. Like I said, we had to go a little bit more in debt, and sometimes you have to do that in order to climb your way back out again. But it was worth it because the batteries are going to make our lives much nicer, much easier. We can go and play our games and not be afraid that we can't charge up, and we can, eat hot food, have our coffee in the morning.
That's the major thing, having the coffee in the morning.
Coffee in the morning without having to walk into a store. Or this morning we had to drive around
to find it.
Because this Walmart, although we never thought about it, we haven't bought coffee in this Walmart parking lot. We've always made our own. And yesterday, of course, we'd gone out adventuring. So we'd gone to a Burger King to have coffee that was in a mall that we happened to be walking through. And then this morning, Gary went to get coffee. And?
There was no coffee in the Walmart.
There was no McDonald's. Which normally you have in Walmarts. Most of the big Walmarts have a McDonald's, but this one doesn't. Nothing here. So now we can have our coffee, do our dishes and all that stuff. I mean, we could do dishes before. We still don't have hot water because we still have to replace the hot water panel thing.
But the kettle works.
The kettle works. The solar apparently doesn't work. Gary tested it. And what is it that we need for that?
We need the controller charger board. So, in saying that, I haven't taken the thing apart yet to see if there's any way I can fix it.
Yeah. So that's one of the things on the agenda. We have talked about whether we should go into a campground for one night on Saturday. And I don't know if we should, because if we do, it's going to use up the majority of our money, and then we won't be able to do anything until the end of the month, which is like 2 weeks away, week and a half, I think, away before we get our next sort of lot of money and start our cycle all over again. So we'll have to think about that, whether we actually do that or we wait and do it as we're traveling or whatever. Because we're really not sure. With the money that we're going to have on Saturday, we could put some money in the tank and head toward Peterborough and be heading in that direction. Because it's kind of our next place to check out.
And stay in a small town.
Yeah.
Along the way.
Yeah.
See some new people.
Yeah.
See what their area is like.
Yeah. Because we suspect we won't be necessarily in a city. We suspect we will be in a small town close to a city, which gives us kind of the best of both worlds. We'll have the small town cheaper living, which normally in a small town, your housing is quite a bit cheaper. But then you have the bigger center that's close enough that you can get in and you can get things and do things. So there's somebody's horn blowing, isn't that nice? We have that quite a bit in this parking lot. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so we'll make the choice in the next couple of days what we're going to do, whether we're going to just say, no, we'll stay here until the end of the month, or we want to move on and just get going. Like we did when we came here. It was like, okay, we can stay there and spend more money sitting there, or we can grab our money and spend it on fuel and get going. So we'll make up our mind, and we'll let you know as we go along. Yes? Anything you wanted to add?
No, I think that's it for today. And I hope all of you are having a great day. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to the point that we can upload some of these videos.
Yeah, we're still waiting on this whole starting thing. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. I mean, we're solving these puzzles and problems along the way that are costing us, $500 is a lot of money. That and when you start putting up how many 500s we've had to do, we just haven't had the money to be able to do the things we really want to do. We haven't even had the money to be able to get into the Boondockers Club, because it's just been one little thing after another little thing after a big thing, kind of. So now we've got to take out the inverter. That's a big thing to do. But we'll just pull it out. We're not going to try and replace it right away. We'll have a look at that in future months and see if we even care. Like, it might not be something that we care about. And the solar thing, we'll have a look at that, because that is something we care about, because if we can get the solar hooked up, we don't have to worry about the batteries. Anyway, enough's enough. I'm going to say goodbye as well, and we will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.